All right, folks, why aren't any Democrats defending Kamala's crazy price control package? That's the subject of the riff. So on day 2 at the DNC in Chicago, Michelle and Barack Obama disgraced themselves. You know, once upon a time at the DNC back in 2016, Michelle Obama said, when they go low, we go high. Well, last night, they both went low, and then lower still. All they did was trash Donald Trump, and it was awful, unseemly, especially for former President Obama, who was totally obsessed with Donald Trump. He is inside their heads. No wonder the DNC ratings crashed 22% from 2016. The whole setup looks like a big nothing burger. And then, of course, Michelle Obama could not help but play the race card, as usual. Take a listen.
For years, Donald Trump did everything in his power to try to make people fear us. See, his limited, narrow view of the world made him feel threatened by the existence of two hard-working, highly educated, successful people who happen to be black. Who's going to tell him that the job he's currently seeking might just be one of those black jobs?
Yes, you know, an absolute insulting thing. But there's not one whit of policy, certainly nothing on the economy, which is the biggest issue thus far in this election cycle. In fact, for the first 2 nights, I don't think any of the speakers referenced the economy at all, except Joe Biden, who nobody really saw because the Democratic bosses pushed him deep into the night, the same way they took him off the ticket, kind of like a Godfather-style hit job. Now, other than that, nobody talked to you about the economy or the border. I keep waiting for the Democratic bigwigs to defend Kamala Harris's $2 trillion spending package and her crazy price controls on food and groceries. I mean, this was her big economic speech last Friday, which was uniformly eviscerated by liberals and conservatives, including the left-wing Washington Post, because no one seems to want to bring back Nixonomics. I mean, people could talk about Soviet-style controls or Venezuela-style controls, but we had our experiment right here at home with Richard Nixon's price controls in the early 1970s, and it was a disaster. Controls led to shortages. Then the price caps have finally blown off, and inflation soared to 15%. Remember Jimmy Carter's gas lines in the late 1970s? Well, when Ronald Reagan finally decontrolled gasoline, oil plunged to around $10 a barrel. But I digress. Back to Kamala's economic policy debut. Suddenly, no one is talking about it. Odd, don't you think? Plus, it was about a $2 trillion spending package with numerous programs paying people not to work, completely goofy national rent controls, and housing subsidies that will, wait for it, actually make housing prices even higher and therefore more unaffordable. So, why did the Obamas defend Kamala's economic plan? Why didn't anybody after 2 days of the convention? Or is she going to flip-flop again Thursday night when she speaks and say, I really didn't mean it. I said it when I was much younger, 6 days ago, but now I've changed my mind. Kind of like the fracking ban, or decriminalizing illegal immigration, or giving illegals free health care, or abolishing ICE, or defunding the police and the government takeover of health care. She didn't really mean it, right? Flip-flop, flip-flop. And let's not forget, raising the corporate tax, which will make America uncompetitive and destroy the wages and take-home pay of working folks, or the wealth tax on unrealized capital gains, or the tax hike on stock buybacks, or the higher tax rate on small business. All that was in the Biden-Harris budget, came out 4 months ago when Kamala was much younger, and maybe she didn't mean it. But you know what? She personally hasn't denied any of it, and she is stuck with that price control turkey of a speech last Friday. You know what else? If she ever wins and jacks up all those taxes, spends all that extra money, and keeps all those price controls, she will destroy the economy. And that's the riff.